Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, and welcome back to the Battle for Wesnoth, specifically the Under the Burning Suns campaign. Oh my, has it been a while. I apologize to all of you who are really looking forward to episodes and probably continually disappointed each week for the past month or so. Unfortunately, just a unfortunate sequence of events. I know I just used unfortunate like twice there, but I don't remember what had happened the first time. I think I was just super busy, and then followed by the death of my one of my family members, and then past couple weeks I've really just been spending time hanging with family and friends, so haven't really sat down to record. Didn't really have the motivation to. Not that my motivation is incredibly strong right now, but I finally have a little bit of time again. Yeah, I felt like sitting down and recording, and here we are. So I hope all of you guys have been doing well. It's been a little while, for sure, and I'm sure many things have changed in all of your respective lives, and feel free to let me know how things are going. In the comments on Discord if you want to start a conversation. I'm always open. So yeah, anyways, let's get going. It's been a little while. I'll need to catch my bearings. I know the last scenario that we did was like a 3-parter, incredibly long. We ended with a lot of gold, which was nice. Managed to finish within the time limit. I think I didn't lose a single unit, if I recall. I did lose one. Cannot scout. Oh, that's fine. We killed 96, so that was really awesome. Made some very good progress. So let's kick it off in the scenario and start the next one. Chapter 10. The merfolk helped us pilot our ships far into the ocean. Some of the younger elves were actually quite adept at climbing the rigging and steering the ships. Myself, I mostly stayed in the captain's quarters and tried to avoid getting seasick. The sea reminded me of being out in the vast desert with only the stars at night to guide my way, but without the merfolk's help, we would have been hopelessly lost. That afternoon, 3 of the merfolk sat in a circle and performed their ritual to determine the location of their master. Apparently it was a success, for they steered us straight towards the setting sun. The next morning, we reached our destination. It wasn't even an island, just a sandbar sticking out above the water. We lowered down a longboat, and the merfolk pulled us to shore, none of us being very skilled with the oars. In the water around the sandbar were a large number of merfolk guards. Standing alone on top of the sand was one of the oldest merfolk I have ever seen. She beckoned to us, and we approached.
"Hail, Calais. Long have I waited to see you in person."
"Greetings. I am afraid I am at a disadvantage, for you know my name, and I do not know yours."
"I am known as Melusand. I am what you might call a high priest among my people."
"This is..."
"No, you don't have to introduce yourselves. I already know who you are and why you have been journeying all this way. And I must say, Jarl, that your recent actions, and indeed your presence with these fine folk, speaks well for your people."
"Thank you for your kindness."
If you know so much, why did you drag us all the way out here?" "Patience, young lady. All will be revealed in good time. I have been watching your progress with great interest, but I could not contact you directly. That is why I sent out my most trusted followers to find you. I apologize for the difficulty of arranging a meeting. Oh, and I hope you do not mind my guards. But her spies are everywhere, and I had to be certain that we could converse without being overheard. Besides, it never hurts to be too careful." "Whose spies?" "Perhaps I should start from the beginning, for that is a good place to start. Make yourselves comfortable, this may take a while. I want to tell you a tale. It is a story of the fall of what you refer to as the Golden Age. A long time ago, there was a great empire of humans known as the Empire of Wesnoth. They lived peacefully amongst elves and dwarves and drove the dark powers deep under the earth. It was a time of peace, light, and prosperity for all.
Yes, we know about this age.
This will go much faster if you don't interrupt me. Now, as I was saying, the Empire of Wesnoth was very learned in the magical arts, and had vast repositories of knowledge. Back then there was only one sun in the sky, the sun you call Selah. But the king decreed that he would raise a second sun into the heavens to lengthen their days and shorten the darkness. All the mages, sorcerers, and wise men came together and cast a mountain into the sky and made it glow as bright as the sun. They sent this second sun, the one you call Nea, hurtling through the sky so that only a few hours of darkness remained each night. Though some had called the attempt foolish, it was a resounding success and stood as a tribute to the power and might of the humans. The golden age glowed brighter than ever, and many believed that they had dispelled evil and darkness forever.
Take a drink here.
But with their prosperity and power, over the generations the humans grew arrogant. One day, a young descendant of the original king decreed that darkness should be abolished altogether from the land, so that light and goodness would shine forth everywhere. But the people had grown lazy and complacent, and the ranks of mages who still trained hard to harness the magical arts had decreased greatly. Still, the king believed he was all-powerful and would not listen to the mages' protests. So, seeking to duplicate the previous success of their ancestors, the mages tried to lift a second mountain into the sky. But a great evil befell them that day. Their power failed, and the mountain crashed down onto the human capital, crushing all within. In an instant, the center of the Empire of Wesnoth was utterly destroyed. The king and his family were all killed, and soon petty warlords tore apart the empire as the known lands fell into chaos. Elves and dwarves were drawn into the conflicts, orcs and trolls spread forth from the dark places, and chaos and darkness swallowed the lands. The two suns, a monument to the power and hubris of the fallen empire of Wesnoth, excuse me, scorched the earth. The fields dried up, forests died, and swamps turned into mud-cracked plains. Since then, the path of the second sun has shifted in the sky, creating the long dark that you are so familiar with every other night. And much evil has spread forth across the lands. The mages of the Empire of Wesnoth still haunt their domains as the undead lords that plague your sands. The surviving humans have descended into barbarity and squalor. Orcs cover the lands, killing each other and any that fall into their grasp. The dwarves and trolls hide in their tunnels in the dark, fighting an endless war. I do not mean to offend your friend, but the majority of them care little for the fate of the surface dwellers, and without their forests, the elves have mostly died out, another victim of the chaos and evil that dominates our lands. What can we merfolk do? We see much with our magics, but we do not have the numbers, nor the power to bring back order to the domains of the land dwellers. And even the sea is not free from the darkness. We struggle to survive against the Naga, and far worse things that have crept forth from the dark places. We are barely holding out in our own waters, but you saw how ill-suited we were when we went ashore. You are probably wondering why I know all this history. Far out in the sea is a string of islands that was once colonized by some humans from the Empire of Wesnoth. During the Golden Age, ships traveled often to the mainland carrying trade goods and news. Apparently the colony was led by a group of mages who wanted a safe place to perform their experiments. Protected by their magic and their isolation, these colonists held out longer than most after the fall of the Empire. What happened to them we do not know for certain, but many years ago my people discovered the ruins of their settlements.
While exploring the ruins, we found a library full of letters and several journals. With our magics and knowledge, we were able to decipher the writings, and thus we could piece together the history of the end of the Golden Age. The island seemed lush and bountiful, so we decided to settle in the shallow waters. But we discovered that the largest island was a strange and sinister place. The interior of the island was choked with a thick jungle, and at the center we could see several tall, rocky peaks. On the tallest peak was built some sort of stronghold, and occasionally at night we saw strange lights emanating from it. But we sent several expeditions into the jungle to explore the building, but none ever returned. Soon afterwards, merfolk sleeping on the shores would disappear at night, leaving only bloody trails leading into the dense jungle. It was clear that something was lurking in the jungle, but we knew not what. Our priests felt a strange presence that they could not understand, and darkness clouded our attempts at scrying. The island was declared cursed, and we stayed as far away from it as we could. Some said we should flee the islands, but the waters were great for hunting, and the cursed Naga who often raided our settlements did not trouble us here. So we remained and told ourselves that if we kept our distance, everything would be fine. But then that night came. I still remember it as if it was yesterday. As the sun set, a darkness spread forth from the tower, blotting out the moon and stars. From the sea came harsh battle cries, and a great host of Naga appeared from out of the depths. Even worse, from that large island the bodies of long-dead humans rose again and marched through the water, killing soundlessly. We were not prepared for such a powerful assault, and we were forced to flee for our lives. Indeed, we were lucky to save as many as we did. In hindsight, I blame the humans. With their experiments, I think they woke something evil. Years later, we still suffer from the legacy of their cursed arrogance and hubris. Something festers on that island, corrupting all that it touches. Since we fled, those islands have become a haven to dark and terrible things. Naga prowl the seas, and undead and other horrors lurk in that twisted jungle. The few creatures that we have captured alive speak of a dark goddess, one they serve blindly unto death. It seems that she has taken control of the humans you saw as well.
Does she have a name?
She has many names. We call her the Eater of Souls, but in the old tongue, her name is Yeknagoth.
No!
Yes, I thought that name would be familiar to you. Always she is looking for new followers. I believe that it is she who appeared unto your people in the guise of your god. But her lust for even greater power may be her undoing, for she underestimated your strength of will. You are not as easily controlled as those she dominated before. She brought you here to be her followers, but I believe that you may be just the ones who can destroy her.
You seem powerful. Why can't you destroy her yourselves?
Years of battle have taken their toll. My people are few in number and have not the strength to strike at her alone, but I see in you a strength and determination that gives me hope. With your help, we may have a chance. You must realize that she is not stopped. Who knows how far her pestilence might spread? I have scryed far and wide, and there are few that have the strength to stand up to such a force. If we do not, who will?
How can we trust you? How do we know you aren't servants of Yeknagoth sent to trick us?
If you knew anything about us, you would have not asked such a question. The idea is an anathema to all that we stand for. You saw how my brethren risked life and limb to find you and protect you and your kind against the humans. You saw how the humans treated us in return. Are not our actions proof enough? Because in the end, I'm afraid you just have to trust us. If we wanted to capture you, we would have already. But we are not here to force you to do anything. Feel free to leave if you want. We can take you back to land. But you will find few friends among the wilds north of the mountains, and the humans will be searching for you. Yeknagoth's reach is long, and her vengeance is terrible.
Indeed, that is what she is expecting. Like the few others that have resisted her for a time, she expects you to flee from her, to run away as far as you can. Long has it been since she has been seriously attacked. It is the one thing she will not be anticipating. I doubt that she even considers your kind a threat, but we have a real chance here to show her that there is still power in the known lands that she does not control. You have given us much to think about, but we cannot make such an important decision in an instant. Please give us time to talk amongst ourselves and discuss the matter. Of course, we will withdraw to the shallows and give you some privacy, but do not ponder for too long, for we do not have a lot of time. I will return ere long. Okay. So here they go out into the water. And now we talk. Well, what do you all think?
It's a heck of a story. I'm not sure what to think. It's all so much information.
I'm still not sure I trust her. What if she's just trying to get you all to fight her war for her?
The point is, it's not her fight. It's our fight too. I, for one, believe her tale. With all the power that Melusand says Yeknagoth has, how do we know that Yeknagoth wasn't the one who rained those rocks down upon our village all those weeks ago? What if this is all just a part of a plot to turn our people into a group of mindless followers?
Whether this was all planned or not, what's important is what should we do with ourselves now? We have a duty to protect our people.
No, no, no. Too much blood has been spilled. This has gone on way too far for us to just end it now and walk away. You saw what she did to Karatur and Tanstafal. Their blood is on my hands, and I will have vengeance.
Even if we turn around and leave now, where will we go? I admit that Melusand does have a point. We cannot return under the mountains the way we came. The humans will be heavily guarding that path for sure by now. We could ask the merfolk to return us back to the coast to the north or south of where we came, but I do not know these lands at all. We would be wandering aimlessly through the wilderness. Oh, if only we did have Lo to guide us. We need her now more than ever. This entire journey has been based on a lie.
I know. Would you like me to kill myself as punishment or step down as leader? Imagine how I feel. I heard her voice. It was just as you had told me since we were children, Zool. The voice of our God speaking to us for the first time since the olden days. And I believed. I wanted to believe so badly that I could take our people away from the horror and the death. I see them now wherever I sleep. I see their faces, all of our brethren who have died on the accursed journey. Oh, I wish none of this had ever happened.
No one is blaming you, Kalei. Many who have seen dark times wish they could go back and remake the past, but that is not in our power. All we can do now is do what seems right in the time that is allotted to us. Do not succumb to despair, Kalei, or else Yeknagoth has already won.
Yes, remember, boy, the fight is not yet lost while we still draw breath.
You are right. I believe Melusand, strange as her tale sounds. From all I have seen, Yeknagoth truly is a scourge on this earth, and I would gladly give up my life for a chance to destroy her once and for all. But this is not a choice that I can make for all of our people.
She should be made to pay for all that she has done to our people, and if I should die in the attempt, then so be it. I will not leave your side now, Kalei.
Take another drink here.
As strange as it may sound, there are some things in this world that are more important than the fate of our people. Years from now, the sun shall rise anew, a seed will grow into a flower, a child will be born. And I believe that if Yeknagoth is victorious, then all that is good and beautiful will be corrupted and twisted and destroyed. This is a harsh world that we live in, but there is beauty and goodness in it. And no matter what may happen to us, I would gladly give my life to see that beauty and goodness survive.
Even in the deepest tunnels underground, we cannot forever escape Yeknagoth's power if she remains unchecked. Against such evil, I am sure my king would give you the whole army of dwarves. but I am afraid you only have me. Still, I will do what I can to see her destroyed."
Then it is decided. Still in this matter, we cannot speak for all our people. Those who go on this quest may never return, and this battle is certainly no place for the young or the elderly. Let all who are afraid or cannot fight stay behind with the merfolk. I will ask Melosan to arrange that if we fail, they be taken far away from here, that they might live out their lives in what peace they can find.
That is very compassionate of you, but I doubt that many of our surviving people will wish to stay behind. You are our leader, Calais, and where you go, we will follow.
Time passes.
Have you come to a decision?
Yes, we have. Yeknagoth has played us like fools. We have all lost loved ones because of her machinations. Her arrogance will not go unchallenged. We will aid you in your cause.
Excellent. Due to our limited numbers, we cannot mount a full frontal assault against all her forces. Instead, a sneak attack may allow us to bypass her defenses and strike at her heart. There are many among my people who yearn to strike against the Eater of Souls. I will help orchestrate an attack on one of the outermost northern islands to create a diversion. I also want to thank you for rescuing my brethren from the humans. They owe you their lives, and they wish to return their debt of gratitude. They have volunteered to guide and escort you to your destination. Although her magic has clouded the isles from scrying, it is the largest island, which we call Zoc-Thanol Isle, where I sense the strongest power. Why is it called Zoc-Thanol Isle? Because Zoc-Thanol means accursed in our tongue. Anyway, it is there that I think you will find the source of the corruption. We will not be able to continue our attack for long, but it should give you enough time to slip through the outer defenses and reach Zoc-Thanol Isle. You must explore the island, find the source of the darkness that infests it, and destroy it before the rest of Yeknagoth's minions have time to return. And on a related subject, I can offer you a glimmer of hope in this dark time. I know that you have been searching for a home for your people. These corrupted islands were once rich and bountiful. If this darkness can truly be destroyed, then such a place might be the home you have been looking for. And I promise you that if you help us, we will help you adapt to these new lands. But that is talk for another day. Before you go, I have one thing to give you. I'm afraid that where you are going, my magical power will be of little help. However, I want you to have these brooches. They are made from the rarest shells that are found in our waters, and I have blessed them with the power of the sea god. As long as you wear them, I will be able to track your progress. You may find that they protect you in other ways as well.
We thank you for such beautiful gifts. We will wear them with honor. We have one favor to ask of you.
Yes, anything.
We go into this darkness knowing that perhaps none of us will return alive, but I cannot ask all my people to go with me against their will. This battle is also no place for our children or our elders. I ask that you protect those that we leave behind, and should the fight go ill, please take them as far away from here as possible. At least perhaps they can get some peace and happiness in the distant wilds.
I will do as you ask. It is only fair. But if this battle goes ill, I do not think there will be many safe places left in the known lands.
Before we leave, there's one thing I don't understand. When he first met Calais, Asanu said this all concerned Yeknagoth and Zangor. We know about Yeknagoth, but who is Zangor? I remember when Yeknagoth was posing as Alo, she said she was the slayer of the demon lord Zangor.
I wonder where Yeknagoth heard of the story of the demon lord Zangor. It is a sad tale, and has not been told for ages, but perhaps now is the right time.
Okay, round 2 of story. Well, this might just be a full-on dialogue episode. I hope you guys don't mind. Whew, let's take another drink.
It all started in the years before the Great Fall. The elves of the Wesmere Forest were masters of the arcane magics. They valued knowledge above all else, and specialized in divination, seeking to scry out the secrets of the other races. In their scrying, they attracted the notice of the demon Zangor. Zangor appeared to them in the guise of a beautiful elven youth and told them that a great darkness was coming, which would destroy all the knowledge that they had collected. He said if they worshipped him as a god, he would protect them and reveal unto them knowledge and magics they could only dream of. But he wanted more. He demanded a blood sacrifice of 1 elf a month. Some of the elves were revolted, but most were tempted by the prospect of even greater power, and so they bowed down and worshipped him as their god. Those who protested his ascendancy were the first to be thrown into jails and sacrificed. And so as the rest of the land succumbed to darkness and chaos, Wesmere Forest was one of the few islands of peace and safety. But Zangor played upon the elves' fears and demanded more from his followers. He declared that all other elves were heretics and did not deserve life. So the Wesmere elves gave sanctuary to refugees, and then they turned them over to their dark priests, who sacrificed them on Zangor's bloody altars. Oh, whoops, I'm confusing voices here. Zangor feasted upon these sacrifices and grew stronger and more powerful. He wanted even more. When no more refugees came, the priests ordered raiding parties to go out and bring back any poor souls they could find. When no more elves could be found, they preyed upon humans, dwarves, orcs, and anyone they could find in the nearby lands. By this point, most of the other forests had been burned, and Elo was leading our people south across the plains. We were surprised to find the Wesmere forest still standing, and even more surprised when an elvish raiding party came out of the forest and attacked us at night, stealing several of our children. Elo, in her wisdom, revealed in a dream the terrible things that happened in that dark forest. We were appalled at the depths to which our brethren had sunk, and though we were loath to attack our own kind, we decided that we could not let these abominable practices continue. We vowed to avenge the sacrifice of our children, and we attacked with all our might. Driven on by their dark priests and by their fear of Zangor's wrath, the Wesmere elves fought stubbornly against our superior numbers. The fighting was horrible indeed. The once beautiful forest was drenched in blood, and corpses littered the sunny glades. The battle culminated with Zangor himself appearing in his true form above the forest. He flew over the land, raining down fire on defenders and attackers alike, delighting in the death and destruction. We had not the power to combat one as strong as him, and we called out to Elo to save us in our hour of need. In a great avatar of light, she appeared, and they battled back and forth above the burning forest. In the end, she beheaded him and smote his body down upon the earth. By this point, the entire forest was being engulfed by flame, and friend and foe alike fled from the inferno. With the death of their god, the Wesmere elves surrendered and begged for forgiveness, telling us the entire sorry story. We took pity on them and cared for them as best we could, but we were afraid that some of the devout priests might try to secretly continue the worship of Zangor. For Elo told us she had not killed Zangor, but merely banished him from this world. We did not want to risk Zangor ever dividing our people again, so we decided that the dark priests who organized the sacrifices must be executed, but that all others who renounced Zangor might be saved. Our priests also declared that Zangor's name and his story were forbidden knowledge. To speak of him meant death. Their constant vigilance was rewarded. In a few generations, only the high priest knew of the tale, and so it was passed down to me. Though these measures may seem harsh, I believe they were justified. If Zangor was ever summoned back, I don't think we could have survived another schism, and so the story of Zangor was passed down from generation to generation to remind us guardians of knowledge of the folly of valuing knowledge higher than the welfare of our people. I wonder what other forbidden lore you've been taught. Foolish girl, do not ask such a question. Trust me, it is better not to know. Knowledge can be a terrible weight, and not one that I would want a youth such as yourself to bear. Treasure the beautiful things in this life, and pry not into the darker secrets. Elo, forgive me, I have probably told you too much already, but in these dark times, I felt that you should know a little bit of the truth. That is very interesting. In truth, I'd never heard of Zangor before when I told Asanu to mention him to you, Kalei. Let me explain. When Elo appeared to you, I was able to use my powers to eavesdrop on your conversation. I did not know how much you suspected, but I did not want to cause panic by openly revealing who was actually speaking to you. I had hoped to convince you to come here so I could reveal the truth to you in person. That's why I made those elusive references to Yeknagoth and Zangor, hoping that Kalei would make the connection between Elo and Yeknagoth and be curious enough to seek me out. My mistake was that I did not realize that Yeknagoth would move so fast. I am sorry that discovering her true identity carried such a high price for your people. And now I must bid you farewell. The merfolk you rescued will help show you the path to the island, and I must go orchestrate our diversion. We will begin our attack at the end of the next long night, so by dawn the large island should be left relatively unguarded. I will pray for our success. With luck, we shall all meet again.
Oh my word, okay. Alright, I'm going to read through this. We're probably going to cut the episode after we get into the scenario. Whew. Our boat slipped softly through the water, shrouded in the pre-dawn darkness. At this moment, the merfolk would be launching their diversionary attack, but the fact that we had not encountered any resistance was still eerily disturbing. Ahead of us, the large island loomed, dark and menacing. In the end, almost all of my people decided to join in this final battle. I was surprised. They had gone through so much, and yet they still had faith in me. Looking around at them, I could not help noticing how many familiar faces were missing. Barely a fourth of those who set out with us on our journey had survived. If I had known it would be this bad, would I ever have left in the first place? I thought Elo was protecting us and guiding our steps, but in truth it was all me. For better or for worse, I have no one to blame but myself. But Zool is right. If we had come all this way just for a chance to help the merfolk defeat Yeknagoth, then our journey was not in vain. We were searching for a new home, safe from all the horrors and death of the desert, but now the struggle seems more important. Could these islands possibly become a home for my people? It is a prospect too wonderful to dare hope for, but in the end, that is not what is driving me. All I care about is vengeance upon her that did this to us. Garrick, Karator, Tanstafal, all those poor souls we left behind in our village, and the many who have marked our path with their blood, they all shall be avenged. The conflict is greater than just us. These lands were once places of beauty and hope. The great empires may be gone, but still people struggle to survive. As grim as it all seems, there is still some beauty and light left, hidden away. I will not let it all be swallowed by a second darkness. I do not care what happens to me, but I pray to Elo, if she is even listening, that if I die, then I die making these lands a better place. Please may this not all be in vain.
Where did this fog come from? I can't see a thing.
Fog and darkness cloud this place, but we can use it to our advantage. The other ships will be safe hidden out in the deep water. We should find a fort before we land the rest of our people. I do not like the idea of landing everyone without a fort to protect us. Shrouded by the fog, they'll be safe for the moment. Once we find a place to rally our people, we can bring the rest of them in and start fighting in earnest.
I think there were some human ruins in the southwestern part of the island.
If you explore the land to the west, then we will swim through the shallows and see what we can find. That is a good plan. First find a fort, then we can explore the rest of the island. Well, I suppose I can at least start, give a little bit of content. This episode's gone on for a while, but I don't think that's that bad, because it's been a hot minute, so... Ooh, it's not what I wanted.
I don't get it. All we see are ruins, bones, some sand, and patches of grass. I thought we would be attacked the moment we set foot on this island. Where is everybody?
That's what worries me. I keep thinking that something is going to jump out from behind the next rock or stone wall and attack, but everything is silent. Too silent. That is accurate, indeed. So it looks like we're just going to need to go capture all this stuff. Let's cap. Oh!
You trespass on holy ground. The one says you must die.
Faugh! Little one, you are not worth our time. We are the Kenoth elves. Flee and trouble us no longer, or we will squash you like a bug.
No, you are not the one. You no command, Boyact. Attack!
I forgot the first voice I used. Okay, well, not ideal, but it is daytime. Let's do that. Now, do we have a status table? We don't know how much money they have. Low cultists. It's very interesting. Yeah, they can't kill him, I don't think. Come on, Calais. Hit. Yes. Hit again. Oh, okay, well, that was actually pretty good. What we're gonna do? Calais here. Nim here. There we go. This backstab.
My death matters not. The one will kill you all. None can resist her. I say good riddance. He creeped me out.
I agree. Come on, Calais. 3 hits. Oh. Oh, baby, Calais. Let's go. Friggin' Zool, man. Look at that. Oh, boy. What's the strange screeching sound coming from the jungle? Great. That sounds just fantastic, doesn't it? I like the little touch of the light coming on, actually, when it's captured. That's really interesting. Calais must capture a keep. Well, we're about to capture the keep, so that's excellent. I think we need to go do that ASAP. Let's get the Jarl on this one. Cap that one. I have captured the keep. This castle is somewhat ruined, but it will serve our purposes. Now, I wonder where the merfolk are. Fear not, here we are. We have explored the southern half of the island, and except for those lizards you found in some abandoned villages, it seems to be empty. We captured those villages for you to help support your troops.
Thanks. I think we're going to need all the support we can get. Now that you have found a fortress to protect your people, we can bring in the other ships.
Oh, here we go.
Good. Now that we can start recruiting and recalling our warriors. Of course, with so few people left, training new warriors will be very difficult and expensive. But if we lose this battle, then what use will gold be to us?
Now that we've set up a base of operations, we should make our way back to the Black Citadel in the mountains at the center of the island. Or make our way to the Black Citadel. I bet it's somewhere in the middle of that dark jungle.
In our exploration, we found a group of reinforcements who were sent to help you, compliments of Melusand. You can recruit them into service at your base if you wish. We may not be much use to you on land, but we will protect you against any threats from the water.
Thank you. I'm sure the reinforcements will be very useful. Okay, well, I guess we don't need to go out and cap all this stuff. Okay, so let's... Okay, nice. We can use mermaids. Excellent. So we don't want to lose her. We're going to need the warriors to lead the way for sure. Enemy unit sighted. Well, bat, okay. Let's keep the sirens and stuff in the back. Might as well. Okay. So we need to get, I think, our protector out. We need a kind of a stalwart defense here. Let's get the champion, and now let's get our air force. The Sun Sylph. Another Sun Sylph. Another Sun Sylph. And a Shide. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I think this is a good spot. We started the scenario, spent a hell of a long time reading dialogue. I hope you guys enjoyed the voice acting. Probably going to need to give my friggin' just voice a break after that, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. A bit of a longer episode today, most of it dialogue, but here we are. So next episode, prepare for a huge battle, I'm sure. So in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.